So this week has been a huge week at the barn.
Sure has.
We have the footer in for the front wall of the barn. They have poured concrete into the bottom and then laid 3/4 of block up and put the caps on top of that.
And block walls going up straight as an arrow. Yeah, it's kind of crazy how you go from this, like, you know, the ditch wasn't even dug like from end to end like a hoe would normally dig it, right? Because you had to dig it from the side because of the overhang. Yep. And the boom and stuff in the barn. So like the ditch it's like pretty massive and wild.
Yeah.
Pour the bottom of the ditch full of concrete, and you just wonder, like, how's this ever gonna come together right and tight, you know?
Right.
And before you know it, there's 3 rows of block, and I mean these massive 4-inch thick by 10-inch wide wooden caps on top of the cinder block caps.
Yeah, so our contractors were really adamant about capping off the top of the cement block really well. So obviously, as you know, cement block has those holes in it, the 2 different holes, and they had known of someone that had a horse that stepped down into one of those holes by breaking through that concrete. And so the concrete cap, they broke through that and then broke their legs. So not only did they cap with the concrete, but then they also capped with that wooden rough cut board.
Yeah,
just
4-inch thick wood.
Yeah,
like,
but it's an insurance policy that's invaluable, really, in the long run.
Yeah, big stuff. It's crazy.
Oh, this is just like the balance beam. Is this still?
Yeah, you can get on it. So as they built the footers along, they have the higher course of block for the areas that will just be wall from there on up. And then where it's lower, that is the Dutch door openings into the stalls. And so far, the way that it looks, it's looking pretty good as far as everything laid out for the stalls to line up with the posts that are already existing inside the barn.
Oh, yeah.
Just like we were talking about last week, when we were laying out the stalls, we really had to think about where the doors could be evenly placed across the front of the barn to look aesthetically nicely from the outside, but then for the stalls to lay out at good intervals for inside to be able to do 12-foot stalls with the posts that are already inside. So looking like that.
No, it's spot on. I mean, really, it's good.
I feel like we won't know until they build the stalls themselves, but it's looking good. So the one day the footer went in, and then literally overnight we came back and they had worked for the day and the wall was in. So not the plating of the wall, but the framing.
Yeah. The structure of the wall
was done.
Yeah, posts and door jambs. And
so for so long we've been looking at it just being braced up by these boards, and then overnight there's structure. Solid structure.
Yeah, pretty cool too.
It looked really good. I mean, it just really finally started to make it feel like the front wall was coming together. That was the first step.
Because it was.
10-foot door. First Dutch door. Second Dutch door. Third Dutch door. Fourth Dutch door. And then another 10-foot door.
And like every night, they would come through the day, and we'd go out in the evening and take a look, and you'd be like, I can't believe.
We've been really busy at our day job this time of year. The thing that we do, other than restoring barns, is pretty busy. So we're not able to be out there in the summer as much as we are, in the off season. But we go out in the evenings, and it's so much. The other thing they did today, or this week while they were there, is they started ripping off the one side of the barn.
Oh yeah, the end.
And I gotta tell you, I have a love-hate relationship with each step of the way when they rip off the boards that are the current siding of the barn. You know, I love it because I'm really excited about it being pretty. That's something I've really looked forward to, is like, we've done so much work and put so much money into the inside of the barn. I'm like, I want to do something that people can see.
You realize, though, when they did the east end, they didn't really have to tear off many boards.
But this time when they tore off those boards and opened up that framework, it was hard to see. Every time I'm like, what are we saving? You know, when they take those boards off, and it's like, the same way when they took the roof off. Yeah. It's like, what are you working to save?
Well, good bones.
Yeah. So they finished that side wall, and they finished the framing up, and Kevin brought the boards, and within a day, the sheeting was just going up like crazy. It was wild to see how fast it was coming together.
Dark in here.
Well, that's exactly what I was just thinking, is this is the first time I've realized, you know, oh gosh, we got to get lights.
They're on site.
Oh, look. That's so exciting. Okay, well, that's it for today. Thank you for following along, and hope you enjoyed this update, and we will see you next time at Sawmill Ridge.
See you soon.
Next week on Sawmill Ridge. On old school and getting back to work out on the ground, so we need to try to clean up that area. I'll show you what it looks like now. Make sure you like and subscribe to never miss an episode of Sawmill Ridge Heritage Farm.